Hello again, everyone. In today's class, we'll start with a new concept called as the networking. So many of you might have come across this particular term somewhere or the other, and you are not unfamiliar with it. But maybe technically, you must not have realized what exactly is this networking or how it works exactly. So for you to have a clear idea of what is a networking, before we proceed to the definition, let us discuss about this. Take the simple example where say you have a computer, and any type of computer. It can be a mobile, it can be a laptop, it can be a desktop, and it might be any of your personal computer here. So you have this single computer, and which is not connected anywhere. That means it is not connected to the internet. So what you do is you whatever you want to work, whatever operation you want to carry out on your computer, you will do it here. Right? So as long as your computer is not connected to any other devices, that means it is not connected, say, to the internet, for example, then your computer will be referred to as a stand-alone computer. Fine, you can carry out each and every features that is supported by your computer, but you will not be able to connect it to any outside device. So initially you have a stand-alone computer. Now, say your friend also have a computer, any type of computer, same thing. So now you are working on your stand-alone computer. Your friend is working in your friend's stand-alone computer here. So now what happened is you want say to connect to each other. You want say to share a file or to communicate with each other, to send messages, text messages, you want to send multimedia. So what do you do is you have to connect, right? There have to be some sort of connection between your standalone computer and your friend's standalone computer. So in order to do that, your this two computer here, yours and your friend computer, will be connected with each other using either some sort of a wired connection. Wired connection, I mean directly connecting the two computer using a wire directly, or maybe using some sort of wireless connection. For example, using your Wi-Fi, using your Bluetooth. And this is just an example, using a satellite connection. That is without connecting it with the help of any physical wire. So these two can be connected. Now once they are connected, these two computer here will be able to share information with each other. I mean, you can send messages to your friend can share data from your friend computer to your computer. Right, so now you are interconnected, and once you are connected, you will be able to share data. Whatever data is there in your computer and your friend computer, you'll be able to share it with each other. Right, so that is what you're doing. You're exchanging information and you're communicating with each other. Now, okay, that is done. Now what happens is, what if you want to share some hardware devices? Say, let us take an example where you in a company, there are 10 different employees. Now, to these 10 employees, the company will not provide a separate printer. So what these 10 employees need to do, they need to share the printer that is owned by the company. There will be one printer, and this one printer will be shared by all those 10 different employees. So what we have here is we have this one single printer. Consider that there are 10 devices, 10 computer, people working on 10 different computer. And now all those 10 different people are connected to one single printer. Right? So what we are doing here is we have this printer, which is a hardware resources. Now this resource is being shared by each and everyone in the company. Right? Those 10 employees that are working in the same company. Now this concept here is called as sharing of resources. Now sharing of resources is possible only when all the computer are connected within a network. I mean, there is a connection between these devices and the printer, the second devices and this printer, and all the other devices, they are connected to the printer. There you will be able to share. Initially what you do here is between your friend computer, you're sharing data or information. And here what you can do is you can even share resources, right, which is the hardware resources. So this is what a network is all about. So we can define, using the simple definition, you can define a network as the interconnection between two or more devices. Devices here can be a computer, or printer, or modem, or switch, or router, example, using a communication channel. Remember, we have connected those two devices using either a wired connection or a wireless connection. What is the purpose behind connecting them? For them to communicate with each other. Means of communication here can be either exchanging information or sharing resources with each other. That means those devices can share, exchange information, and can share resources, hardware resources with each other. Now this is what a network is all about. Technically, this is simple definition of what a network is. Now, network here have this properties. Remember, whenever you are talking about network, your network have to have this properties. First thing, they should be able to facilitate communication. That means your devices should be able to communicate with each other. They should permit sharing of files, data, and other type of information. That is what your computer are doing, right? And then you will be able to share network. Remember, you have your mobile hotspot, and you on your hotspot, and then you will be able to share this network, right? Okay, likewise, any of the computing resources. Sometimes what happens is when you use a network, your network, I mean, normally when you use a wireless connection, might interfere with other technologies. Right? So sometimes you see when you on your Wi-Fi connection, besides say the connection that you want to use, you will see there are different Wi-Fi that is available, right? So sometimes this devices, I mean this, in this case, the signal might tend to interfere with each other. Setting up of a network initially, that means from scratch, if you have to set up a network, it can be very difficult. And in your case, when you do your Bluetooth sharing, what happened? All the devices, technology that is needed have already been set up. So for you, you can do it easily. Whereas if you have to start over, I mean using the different technologies to interconnect all the devices, then setting up a network can be very difficult. Next here is the different types of network. Okay, you will come across different types of network according to different author. But okay, based on your syllabus, this is how a network have been divided. Network has been divided into three main categories, three main types. Here, one is the local area network, the metropolitan area network, and the wide area network. We'll look at each and every one of this network now, one by one. First one, the local area network. From the name itself, this implies that this particular area network covers a very small geographical area. That means it permits sharing. When we say network, sharing it means sharing data and resources. That means this network will permit sharing of data or resources within a very limited area or a limited geographical area. It covers a relatively very short distance, which ranges maybe within only a few kilometers. The speed of this network is quite slow when you compare it with the other higher type of network. Fine, but when you use it only within a small network, it's okay, fine, it is acceptable. But when you compare it with the other network, this is comparatively very slow. But since here what happens is you're using this network within a very small area, and this network are normally privately owned. Say if we take Shillong Commerce College. Shillong Commerce College might have all the different devices within its organization. In order for all these devices to interconnect with each other, Shillong Commerce College will have its own local area network. It does not have to interconnect it using an internet, and it can interconnect all those devices just with the help of a local area network. So a local area network will normally be privately owned. Right? So because of that, since it is privately owned, it is only within a small area. So security factor of this network is very high compared to the other type of network. And so also, since we are transmitting data within only a very small distance, so there will be comparatively low error rate while sending the data from one computer to another computer. This is one of the example of how a local area network is set up. And so you have all the different devices. You have a printer here which will be shared by each and every devices. You have say a modem or a phone, and you have all the different devices, and all this can be interconnected with each other using a switch. In this case using a hub. We'll talk about this too, the hub and the switch, later on in some other concept. Okay, so this can be interconnected with each other. This is your local area network. Likewise, you have second category which is called as a metropolitan area network. Metropolitan area network, from the name, find this implies that this is a network which covers the entire metropolitan area. That means a very large city, like say Kolkata, the whole of Kolkata, the whole of Mumbai, Bangalore, Delhi. And it spans a city or a very large campus. This can be owned either privately or it can be owned by a single entity such as say the government body or a large corporation. This network here have a larger geographical area compared to that of a land, but it has a smaller area when you compare it with other network, which is a wide area network. Example of a metropolitan area network is this particular network is mostly used by the cable operator. When a cable operator want to supply cable connection to everyone within a metropolitan city, they need not use an internet connection in this case, but what they use is they use a metropolitan area network, which has lesser devices and it's less complex compared to that of a wide area network. So it can cover the entire city. Next, the last one here is the wide area network. This covers a large geographical area such as a city or a country, or it can even span the intercontinental distances. That means when you want to communicate with devices worldwide, throughout the whole geographical area, that means through the whole world, then you can use this particular network. Example of a wide area network for you to have a clear understanding is the internet. Now with the help of the internet, you can connect from here, say Shillong, to any other part of the world. And that is the meaning of your wide area network. It uses different sets of communication channel here. Fine, since we will be transmitting data over very large space, so it will not limit its communication channel with only say wired connection, which will not be possible. So it can even use connection with the help of satellite. It takes help of all the telephone lines, cable connection, the airwave, which is normally mostly in like your wireless connection. One here can either be publicly accessed or it can be privately accessed. Publicly accessed network, wide area network is the example, is your internet. Privately accessed here is the intranet, which we will discuss again later on. Your wide area network are normally formed by joining local area network together. You have Shillong Commerce College have its own local area network. Shillong College have its own local area network. St. Anthony's have its own local area network. St. Mary's have its own local area network. Now, if these four organizations want to communicate with each other, what they'll do is they will communicate with the help of a wide area network. So when we join together all those four local area network, what we get is we get an inter network or an interconnection of network, which is your internet. Okay, this is how we normally forms a wide area network. You have one local area network here. You have another local area network. You have a third local area network. See, now you combine this together. I mean, when this interconnect with each other, when they started sharing data and resources with each other, then what you get overall here, you get a wide area network. Okay, so this is how you can remember this three network. Local area network have the smallest geographical area, and then in between you have the metropolitan area, and then finally, which covers the whole world, you have your wide area network. Local within small geographical area, metropolitan area, and then the wide area network, I mean the whole world. Right. So with this, we'll conclude here for today. We'll continue with the next topic in the next lecture. Thank you very much.